Hello everyone, I'm Pooja Darade from Leisure Bite and I'm here with Modern Love Mumbai's team, My Beautiful Wrinkles. Hi Alankrita, hello Sarika ma'am, hi Danish and hi Aisaz.
Hi.
Firstly, congratulations, the trailer has received a good response because Modern Love is such a loved series. The expectations from Modern Love Mumbai are obviously high. So what do you have to say about those expectations and the original one? What inspired you to take up a story, for this series?
So first of all, I want to clarify that the modern love Mumbai. It's not that we are remaking the stories that have already come,
In the US one,
version.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason that it was very exciting for me because though all the stories are based on columns, on the modern love columns that appear in the New York Times, but they all, it's a fresh set of stories. So I think, and we had a lot of space and freedom to be able to adapt them the way we thought fit. So I think it was a wonderful opportunity to tell, a very, very beautiful story. So I'm really excited. And of course, one always has butterflies in one's stomach before anything else, anything you make comes out. So I guess that is, it's just a constant. And I think most filmmakers learn to live with it. And but I'm not feeling extra pressure because of that. I'm just hoping that the stories that we have told, I'm hoping that people are able to connect to those stories.
And Sarika ma'am, like you are in the frame, like you are there, it's about you. How did you connect with whatever Alankrita told you that this is the story? How did you prepare for the character? What did you understand about her?
First, I understood a lot about her when I read the script because it was very well written. The character was fleshed out very nicely with a lot of clarity. And later we had readings, where basically I think the director and the actor have to be on the same page. And I think that's what happens when you read through it and all. You ask questions as an actor, would she do this, would she not do this? She says this. So we prepared for it through readings and all, and then both of us also had reading, myself and Danish. So before going on set, you're basically ready, नहीं तो वो पहले एक दो दिन waste हो जाते हैं if you don't do readings.
And Danish, tell me, even if the title is modern, people usually think modern है मतलब सिर्फ अभी का है, but you are there. But the story is about you, like, see, I don't want to like go too deep to call it love or something, but yeah, an admiration to a woman like who is elder to you, because that is what the title and the story seems to be. So how did you feel like reading the story and seeing a very different concept that Alankrita has presented to you?
I don't think it's a very different concept. I think the problem and what we're trying to address with the story is that this happens,
Yeah, right.
but people just don't want to accept it and people don't want to shed light on it. And I think that's what's important about our story is that love is available to us in all forms, ages, sexes and everything. And with this story, you can just hopefully take away some of that stigma and see that it's still beautiful no matter who it's between.
And SS, you have always been part of a lot of web series which are like modern, millennial, all of this. This is something different, but your character is kept a secret. It's not in the trailer. Can you tell something about it?
I think if I tell a lot about my character right now, if I reveal even a little bit, story के बारे में काफ़ी कुछ reveal हो जाएगा, which is why maybe I am not there in the trailer. It is definitely a surprise. But I play Sarika ma'am's character's granddaughter in the film, Sia. And you get to see a very beautiful, very special, a really wholesome relationship in the film. When you see Sarika ma'am's journey in the film and all, but you also see this really sweet relationship that builds on, and there's a lot that's happening which you have to see the film for.
Alankrita, like Danish also said, and even I believe that this is something, it's normal. It happens, like age difference hota hai. It's not always that the guy is older and the girl is not. And I think in your stories, you have always seamlessly showed that. But while telling these stories, do you feel like sometimes a pressure, like will the audience, will they able to see through my perception? Like, is there that any kind of pressure or concern? Do you have that?
I think I sound strange when I say it, but I guess I think there are a lot of filmmakers, and I think that's their gift. They're able to view their work, like their writing and their films and their shows or whatever, through the perspective of the audience. And I think that's great that they can. I'm just not one of those people. So whatever I write and make, honestly, the only, like, I feel I'm really the only judge, and I feel like I want to write something and make something which I feel speaks to me. So that's how I work, and I know there are different ways of working, and I think I've never been able to get into that space of, you know, trying to think from somebody else's perspective, because I think it would leave me very, very confused. So I try to see that, does this story mean something to me, you know? Can I tell it as honestly as possible? And you know, so everything, I think I just try to judge it from my own perspective. Would I enjoy watching it? Would I have empathy for these characters? You know, how am I looking at them? So I think I'm the main audience that I'm trying to make it. Well, it sounds weird, but it's kind of been my process, because I find it very hard. I can't imagine now what X will like or what will like. Also, because I think the kind of work I do is a constant building of a new audience, because I have never known whether there'll be any audience for my work. So I think, you know, I have to just trust my instinct and keep moving forward rather than worrying too much. And I think it has worked for me, because I feel like, you know, the spaces have opened up, and I think that I do feel like I get a lot of love for the work that I do. It may not be like a mass audience, but it's a critical audience, which, you know, there's enough people who really respond to it. So I think that gives me a lot of encouragement. And right now I'm still continuing on that path, not thinking too much about what the audience will have to think, and just trusting that, you know, some audience will find its way to the work.
And this question is to both of you, Sarika ma'am and Manish, that your characters in the trailer, we see they have a kind of chemistry. It's very heartwarming. Like the way they talk, like straight face, but there's something, you know, something is going on there. How did you prepare, you know, to show that unsaid chemistry, that heartwarming chemistry, and making it so comfortable? Because, you know, there are people who will be like, they won't understand that key. They will always see the age difference, but it looks very beautiful. How did you two prepare, and how did you manage to bring that on screen?
I think we prepared basically because we were very true to the characters. I was Dilbar and he was, Kunal. And if you're just not being yourself and being the character, then you behave like the character. So the chemistry, obviously, that's what was expected out of us in those scenes, you know. And luckily for me, he is so good. If there was somebody else who did not get it, I would be like just throwing darts and missing this thing. So I think that was very fortunate that I had a very good actor, so we could just bounce off each other. इससे ज़्यादा preparation नहीं होती. Once you start, I think, doing one scene, by second scene you're in it.
Yeah.
The first scene is always where actors, when you do first time something, you are still trying to catch the characters.
It's like a warm up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then by second scene you're in it.
And
For me, the same thing. I had faith in the script. I think what Alankrita told me, what she required of me, was very helpful and very clear to me. So when the first time I read it was with her, and then when we started rehearsing, I just had to feed off Sarika ji and what she gave me, and that was more than enough. So it's just it's a team effort. You can't do anything on your own.
And Ehsaas, like you have worked as a child actor, you are popular on social media, and web pe tumhara already, like you have a good fan following. So what do you keep in mind while saying yes to a particular character or a project?
Honestly, I never had to struggle with saying yes to some project, because fortunately all the offers and whatever projects that I've gotten have been very safe, or like they haven't been, I never had to give it a second thought. All the shows also that I've done, I'm either a college girl or I'm in a hostel or all of that. This is definitely something very different from the universe that I have explored earlier. And which is why it was one of the reasons why I said yes to. I willingly auditioned for it. So yeah, I think. But I don't have to keep a lot of things in mind. I think I just go with the flow. I trust my instincts, and I just want, as an actor, I just see how challenging the role is, or what my part is, or how strong the script is. and everything just fell into place for this one, and it was obviously Alamkita ma'am who was directing this, and I said yes immediately for this, and then I got to know Sarika ma'am is also a part of it, and I think everything just fell into place.
My question is to both you and Sarika ma'am. You know, the My Beautiful Wrinkles, it's a very beautiful title. And I think a lot of women, in different ways, they will relate to it. Because women are like considered undesirable after a particular age. So it's in any like personal life, work-wise, everywhere. So through your film, what impact are you trying to create with, and through your character? Through your shorts, what impact are you trying to create?
I think that, I don't think I've set out to make this film that, oh, now I must create an impact. I think it's a very poignant story. There's a lot of heart and a lot of truth in it. And of course, what you're saying is true, that, there is a sort of boxing of women that happens, at a certain age, at this age women should do this, at this age they should be like this. And definitely I feel like it's really important to question that status quo. And so I feel like this film is not that kind of a film where that messaging is there. I think because you feel for the character, you just have empathy, and hopefully it'll make you think and open some doors in your heart with, when you look at other women, you will not be so judgy. But I think I think it's more poignant, I would say, than, from my perspective, than really big on messaging. But definitely the idea that, there is no age at which you can feel the joy of life. You can feel that life is special and it's beautiful. And sometimes what happens is, at a particular age, you feel like, ab ho gaya, I've done whatever I had to do, I've lived my life. But actually, even in one's 50s and 60s, one is still living life. So I think that's if there's any takeaway from the film, it's that, a lot of things might happen in one's life, but there's beauty in continuing to live, as joyfully as one can.
That's a nice answer. Like, what would you like to say?
I first of all don't think it is just with women. I think there is no gender to it. People react to men, women, everybody. I also feel it's not just with age. This kind of thing comes at every age for different reasons.
Yes.
People just decide, oh, I don't like this kind of hair, or I don't like this, or I don't like the makeup, or I don't like, these kind of things are there. And like she said, we have not done this, and we have not set out to change any of that. We are just sharing a story, like your question, like what we are seeing. This is happening all around us. We have just picked up one of those stories. It's not that we are trying to change something. In our particular story, it has got a very positive takeaway, which says that, if you ask me, my personal view is, it really doesn't matter what others think about you. You just live your life. You should be honest about it, that are you happy, are you okay with yourself? It really doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because it's my life, basically.
I think that's it. Thank you so much, and all the best for
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
My
much.
Beautiful
Thank you.
Wrinkles. It's a very beautiful title.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.